Well, hello everyone, and welcome to week 4. This week, we are going to further explore character education frameworks and practices, as well as the implementation of character education programs in schools, which you've already dove into a little bit via assignment number 3, which I know you've been looking at and working on over the past week a little bit. And that's going to be due this upcoming Sunday night. But we will dive into that in just a moment. First, let's take a look at the resources that we have for you to explore this week, again, related to frameworks and practices and implementation of character education programs in schools. So this week, you're going to have the opportunity to watch a video about the importance of character education. You'll also have a chance to read 2 really interesting articles related to character education implementation in schools, as well as browse peacebuilders.com. In terms of our discussion board question this week, you're going to be able to think about and discuss what are the components of a quality character education program, and should character education programs look the same across districts and states, or should there be a little bit of wiggle room to personalize? Finally, what barriers need to be overcome when implementing a character education program? And I wonder how that might vary from site to site. So very excited to engage in discussion with you around that topic this week and to read your responses to one another. And then finally, just a reminder that your personal deep dive into these particular topics is going to be due September 15th by 11:59 p.m. And that is, let's take a look one more time at this together, adoption and implementation of a character education project slash presentation. And so hopefully what you've been able to do at least a little bit last week was just start to explore what are some particular needs at your school site or a site that you're familiar with. And how might you find a character education program designed to meet those needs? What steps would you go about in terms of implementing that particular character education program at your site? If you want to head back to the week 3 video, I do provide a verbal breakdown of all the different components related to the instruction part of the assignment. I don't want to bore you with that again if you took the time to look at that last week, but if you would like a review, head on over to the week 3 video to check that out. What I would love to spend some time doing for this week, week 4, the week that everything is due, is taking a look at the grading criteria for this particular assignment so that you feel well supported and set up for success. So if you take a look at the grading criteria for assignment 3, you'll see that it's split into 2 main chunks. One chunk is related to the content that you create via your Google Slides, and one chunk is related to the presentation quality of the final product. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the content areas. Number 1, the needs of your school site are clearly identified and supported by ample evidence and thorough data analysis. Number 2, related for your plan for adoption and implementation, again, you're choosing one character education program, and you're going to provide a description of plans, goals, objectives, way to harness and maximize efforts and resources of the community, site, and family. And you can see the highly developed criteria. There was my son popping his head in. There's some real life for you guys this weekend. You can check out the highly developed criteria there, but want to make sure that we're encompassing reliable information of a possible plan with understanding of the value of each of the roles of specific stakeholders, community, site, family, and helping us see how important it is to have that systems approach. Okay, there's some points related to writing style and language mechanics. And so you'll get the full points for clearly communicating a logical sequence that's easy to follow, strong supporting information when you're making claims, smooth transitions that are engaging to the reader. This again is just referring to the written content of your slides, and just evidence that you've taken the time to proofread. And of course, everybody's favorite, our APA formatting according to APA 7th edition. So just ensuring that you're accurately and consistently using APA format throughout your presentation, and that you use at least 3 references. More are always welcome. And do remember that hanging indent on the references slide as well. Love to see those in-text citations even in your presentation slides as well, just getting into those good habits that are going to serve you well as you continue on in the program. So that's in terms of content. Let's take a look at the presentation criteria. So a highly developed presentation, it's going to demonstrate online delivery techniques like the consistent use of professional language and tone, vocal expressiveness, a reasonable pace, clear speech, minimal use of fillers or words like and, so that your presentation sounds professional and polished. And then visual aids, right? So that your visual aids, the slides that you use are imaginative, memorable, and compelling. Maybe there's a visual that makes the information sticky for the audience. Anything that you would like to do to kind of enhance the information that you're sharing with something that's really going to connect to the audience. And finally, organization and coherence. Your presentation displays original ideas that are consistently and organized and logically developed with clear and insightful connections among them. An introduction is appropriate. And then lastly, for your sources and synthesis of those sources, you're regularly incorporating that source material, like I mentioned, into the written assignment. You're welcome to reference that verbally as well, so that we know exactly where you're referencing when you're making claims and backing those claims up with evidence and your own brilliant reasoning. Hopefully that's clear. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to me throughout the week as you're working on this particular assignment. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have as they arise, and I'm really looking forward to learning about the individual programs that you choose and how you believe they're going to meet the needs of your particular site. Lastly, I just want to invite you to think about the Christian message for the week with me. Proverbs 4:13 says, "Take firm hold of instruction, do not let go. Keep it, for it is your life." And I just, thinking about everybody in this class and thinking about the ways that you're passionate about the holistic development of the people you serve, just want to say a big shout out to you. I'm inspired by the work that you're doing in this class while also working full time and doing your best to give your students that firm instruction that's going to benefit them for life and set them up for success. So I hope that you all have an absolutely wonderful week. Again, don't hesitate to reach out if I can be of service to you in any way. And I look forward to connecting with you in the discussion boards and beyond. Have a great week.